Even if you're being conservative, the Lakers still got two of the top 8 players in the league. And unlike the Nets, neither of those two dudes are like just unplayable on defense, or at least like so limited on defense that you have to build an entire system just to make them work. I'd go so far as to say, if Anthony Davis is healthy, that's an automatic DPOY candidate. He never gives you a full season, so he doesn't really get the chance to show it, but he's that guy. There's no guy in the league that has that combination of rim protecting skills and also perimeter skills defensively. Like, it's Anthony Davis, and then a step, and then other dudes. LeBron's more up and down. LeBron can be this, but he can also be this on defense. It's a give and take. You never know what you're going to get. It just depends on how interested he is. If the team sucks, he's going to suck on defense. Rob Pelinka, aka less handsome Rob Lowe, decided to trade Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and Montrezl Harrell, and a first for Russell Westbrook and 2 future seconds. They actually signed Wayne Ellington again. They signed Trevor Ariza again. They signed Kent Bazemore again. And they signed Dwight Howard again. They also brought in first-time Lakers Kendrick Nunn, Malik Monk, which are both guards that are in their mid-20s to early 20s, haven't quite got that big money in the NBA, and are looking at an opportunity to really get minutes and impress. And then they also brought in Carmelo Anthony, who's on the other spectrum. That dude's made his money. He's just trying to play with his homie, be in LA, and maybe win some games, you know? Shout out to Melo. He gave us good basketball for a lot of years, and this is a different version of him, but it's still fun to watch him going out there and being able to play at a relatively high level. Not the level he used to be at, but still a high level. The Lakers also re-signed Talen Horton-Tucker, which seems like they picked him over Alex Caruso, which is kind of questionable to me just because Alex Caruso is a better fit, and he could have stayed. They could have offered him basically the same contract that he got from Chicago, and I'm sure Alex Caruso would have preferred to have been in LA for the same money, just because if you see what's happened to his career, by evidence by this that I'm posting right here, being in LA has been good for him. Has been good money for him. On the other hand, Talen Horton-Tucker is younger, and I think he's still 20 or something. So the hope is that he's going to keep developing, and he's not only that he might get better, but he's also a better trade asset. If they need to trade someone on the team and try to bring in a specific piece or whatever, Talen Horton-Tucker is a really good option for that. On top of that, maybe he just becomes really good, right? They got options with him. But really, when you're talking about the Lakers offseason moves, the one that's really going to stick out, the one that's going to get talked about the most throughout the course of the season is going to be Russell Westbrook. That's the one everyone wants to talk about. What's it going to look like? And the thing is, Russ is extremes. You got these two things right here. And the honest truth is that Russ is both of those things. He does a lot. You know, whatever he's doing a lot of it. The nerd part of my brain wants to hate this because it's not the best fit, right? We're coming to what I think, I could be wrong, is closer to the end of LeBron's career than the beginning. You don't know with LeBron because he's a cyborg from the future that was sent here to just destroy basketball. But I'm assuming we're closer to the end than the beginning. And so what that means to me is that you don't want to waste time with him on experiments like, is Russell Westbrook going to be a good fit? Because we know Anthony Davis is a good fit. Anthony Davis is like the best second fiddle maybe ever. Like, he's perfect, right? Russell Westbrook, we're going to have to see. Now, in defense of Russell Westbrook, yes, he can be a lot. Like I said, he can be a lot sometimes. But if you also look at his history, he's played with Kevin Durant, James Harden, Bradley Beal, and Paul George. And all those guys had tremendous seasons playing with him. So much so that KD even won his MVP playing with Russ. Now, Russ didn't play every game that year, but he played about half. And if he was so awful for Kevin Durant wouldn't have been able to have his best season. Now, the good news is if you look at all the players they signed, it seems like the goal is for Anthony Davis to play a lot more center this year, which is just right. He's a better center than he is a power forward. He's good at both. It's not like he's like a bad player if you put him at power forward, but he's a better center. He's probably the best center in the league if you just play him there all the time. This is great because of his versatility. When Russell Westbrook has the ball, Anthony Davis can stretch out and really get the most out of Russ. Russ's like most efficient time as a player was like that month and a half where the Rockets had no center and PJ Tucker at like 6'5" was the tallest player. That was when Russ was like just being the guy people have always wanted him to be, you know, not just shooting a lot, but when he was shooting, they were good shots. The other times he's dishing out to teammates and getting rebounds, just being a good team player. Russell Westbrook's free throw shooting is a bit concerning because 2 of the last 3 years, he was actually under 70% when he's been over 80 most of his career. That's worrying, but he still manages to be a good player because he does a lot of other things other than just scoring. I'm not a Lakers fan, but at this point, I just want to see LeBron on the most competitive teams he could be on, right? I want him to be on teams that are at least as good as like the other best teams in the NBA. This might be that, I don't know, but I'm really excited to watch this season to see what all this is going to look like. This is an old team. They got a lot of dudes in their mid-30s, but they might just have 1 or 2 good years left in them, and that might be just enough for this team. So whatever happens, I'm going to be watching the Lakers this season very excitedly. It's the day after. I'm editing this monstrosity. I just wanted to say, if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Bye.